What you're about to see is real. Nothing has been manufactured or staged.
On this episode of Local Haunts, Steve and Pamela head downtown to the historic Florida National Bank. For nearly 30 years, this grand building has stood empty. Or is it? Just who lurks in the massive old bank? Find out as we explore Local Haunts.
Also joining us on this investigation is Steve Atkins, the managing director of Southeast Group, the company that owns Florida National Bank. They had big plans for this derelict historic building. How we came upon this local haunt was quite by accident. We were shooting a photo spread for a story on local haunts for First Coast magazine, and they chose this old building as the backdrop for photos of Pamela and I. Enamored by the grandeur of this old building, I took several pictures of my own. And what I caught in this picture is quite revealing. It appears to be a person kneeling in the reflection in this window, looking down on me. He would have been positioned behind me when this picture was taken. There was no living person where this man is kneeling. So I knew we had to investigate this incredible building. The Florida National Bank dates back to 1902, when it was built as the Mercantile Bank right after the Great Fire that destroyed the riverfront of downtown. These historic photos show the bank in its prime, with horse-drawn carriages parked outside. As time went by, the name changed to the Florida National Bank, and it remained so until its doors closed in the 1980s. 30 years of standing idle, waiting, empty, only not. As it turns out, the old bank is far from empty. This is quite possibly the most haunted building Local Haunts has ever investigated, with a population of earthbound spirits that now call this imposing structure home. And our investigation begins right now. When I went out into the street to shoot this exterior shot of the bank, I caught an EVP right there in the street. No one was near me, and I did not hear this voice at the time. I cleaned up the EVP to isolate it from the noise of traffic, and this is what it sounds like. It sounds like a male telling me from Tampa. After catching an EVP in the first 3 seconds of my footage, It looks like we were in for an interesting night, but we had no idea just how interesting. All right, so Steve, you're the owner of this incredible bank.
Right.
How long has it been vacant?
It's been vacant for well over 20 years. It's had different things going on inside, for it being cleaned up or being prepared for renovation. Some demo's been done, but it hasn't been in service for well over 20 years.
Why did it close?
Just the life cycle of buildings and different economies and things like that.
People didn't come downtown to bank anymore.
Right. Yeah. It's an old classic banking hall. So for it to be, they don't do banks quite like that anymore. So this has been a space, and it fallen into some disrepair.
Coming up on Local Haunts.
And she already caught some pretty amazing stuff, so we're in for a pretty cool investigation.
Yeah, this is going to be at least three-parter.
Yeah.
Just how haunted can one building be?
Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
So it was built in 1902, the year after the big fire.
Yeah, this was one of the first buildings finished after the Great Fire. Built in 1902. The fire was in 01. It was originally built as the Mercantile Exchange Bank building, and it was originally half as big. Very shortly thereafter, I think by 1906, it was expanded and doubled in size and became the Florida National Bank building. And it remained the Florida National Bank building for probably close to 100 years.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let me turn this around. This is better. All right, so you've seen some episodes of Local Haunts.
Right.
Okay. So you understand
But
what
water is
there.
beneficial.
You know what kind of a freaking nature she is. Okay.
So
Now she took a couple of pictures before. Did I show you the picture I took
No, I don't think so.
when I was here the first time?
Pick up. Even without this machine, water
This
will
was
act
when we were doing a
as
photo shoot for First Coast Magazine.
Right.
It was.
And I was standing up there on the balcony, which I've been forbidden to go to.
So many voices.
And I was taking a picture of this lobby, and I captured in that window up there,
Which are covered.
So it's me standing up there shooting down, and I saw it on a bigger screen, and I zoomed in, and there's somebody kneeling up there, which is that's a reflection in this window.
Right.
So he was behind me. That's not a real person.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty solid looking, but not fully solid,
Right.
It's like not quite right.
Right.
But she took a bunch of pictures just before we started, and she already caught some pretty amazing stuff. So we're in for a pretty cool investigation.
Yeah,
tonight.
this is going to be
Right.
at least three-parter.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a live EVP session.
We're going to do quite a few live EVP sessions in spots of where we are, and then also photo captures. And then when we review the film, we also come across nice little presents with
Well, like that picture I just showed you, I didn't see that till
Right.
the next day.
Right.
And I'm looking at my pictures on the bigger screen. I'm like, hey, wait a second, there's somebody in there. Okay, so this is our digital audio recorder. This just records sound. First National Bank? What's it called?
The Florida National.
Florida National Bank, downtown, live EVP session. I'm Steve, this is Pamela, that's Steve, that's Savannah, and Kevin on cameras here. I'm sure you've been paying attention and actually probably posing for pictures with Pamela. And I'm sure you've had some conversation with her already, right?
Yes.
Did you want to give us a name?
That's water back there.
Okay.
Okay. But water is beneficial because it'll help spirit sound carry. So if you listen in between the vibrational currents and listen to the water, beyond the water, if that makes sense, you can pick up, even without this machine, water will act as
Conduit of sound.
Conduit of sound. When I was in here for a photo shoot,
It was raining.
it was, and I very clearly, it was just like, period in here.
Wow.
So many voices.
Okay. This is an amplifier and speaker.
First National Bank? Florida National Bank, downtown, live TV session.
What you're going to be listening for is like little whispers under us.
I'm Steve, this is Pamela, that's Steve, that's Savannah, and Kevin on cameras here. I'm sure you're paying attention and actually probably posing your cameras, posing for pictures with Pamela. And I'm sure you've had some conversation with her already. Right?
Yes.
Did you want to give us a name?
Right in there. Water, beyond the water.
You hear the syllables in there?
Yeah.
That makes sense. You can pick.
That was spirit talking.
Yeah.
EVP session.
EVP
All
session.
bank.
Yes, we're at the big bank.
The big bank.
Steve's bank.
Now, what are your future plans for this building?
So the plans, this building kind of is sitting in between two other taller buildings. The two taller buildings will be a new Marriott flagged hotel, and this will be a new restaurant space.
The whole building will be a restaurant?
This space will be a restaurant and bar.
Wow. And you utilize the basement?
We'll utilize the basement, kind of private dining, wine cellar
Very nice.
kind of space.
You guys are in for a treat when we go downstairs and check out the basement of
It's a
this
cool
place.
space.
Basements in Florida is kind of an unusual thing. but
Right.
This is a cool basement.
Okay, let's hear it back. Sometimes I think most of the time anyway, when you engage a normal conversation, that's when they'll actually really step in and start communicating.
Yeah.
But we're just getting warmed up.
When I give them a chance to respond by giving them a pause, they tend to,
Jump in.
well, you know, they
Stop.
tend to get quiet, and
Like stage fright, you know?
it kind of, it kind of scares them a little bit. Like, oh, is that me?
Okay.
EVP session.
EVP
All
session.
bank.
Yes. Right there.
EVP session.
EVP
All
session.
bank.
Yes. We're at. Yes. We're at. Yes.
EVP session.
EVP
All
session.
bank.
Yes. We're at.
You hear it back there?
Yes. We're at. Yes. We're at. Yes. We're at. Yes. We're
Yeah.
at.
You hear that behind her? I don't know what he's saying or she's saying, but
And the cool thing is the way we're doing the episodes now is we're running them raw, and so people can just tune their spiritual ear and maybe even slow it down a little bit to where they can listen in between the layers. Once you really activate your spiritual ear, which is there, is the soul that powers the body, you will find that even your physical hearing becomes more sharp. You'll hear a car before it's even there.
Savannah, come here a second. Get a little closer.
Yes, we're at. Yes, we're at. Yes, we're at. Yes, we're at. But let it run a little bit more instead of the loop. Yes. That'll kind of mess up the brain.
EVP session.
EVP
All
session.
bank.
Yes, we're at the big bank.
The big bank.
Steve's bank.
Now, what are your future
Steve's bank. The bank of Steve.
plans for this?
I wish it was cold.
So the plans, this building kind of sits in between two other taller buildings. The two taller buildings will be a new Marriott flagged hotel, and this will be a new restaurant space.
The whole building will be a restaurant?
This space will be a restaurant and bar.
Wow. Will you utilize the basement?
We'll utilize the basement, kind of private
Okay,
dining.
so right after you said we'll utilize the basement, you can hear somebody coming in and saying, yes. Go back a little bit.
Restaurant and bar.
Wow. And you utilize the basement?
Well, yes,
It wasn't you, was it?
Yeah.
Will you utilize the basement?
we'll utilize the basement.
Yeah, go back, because it's not his vibrational current or yours.
The whole building will be a restaurant?
This space will be a restaurant and bar.
Wow. And will you utilize the basement?
Yes, we'll utilize the
Because that's you're talking at the same time, so it's definitely not you.
basement, kind of private dining, wine cellar kind of space.
You guys are for a treat where we go downstairs and check out the basement of
It's a
this
full
place.
space.
Basements in Florida is kind of an unusual thing.
Right.
This is a cool basement.
Okay, let's hear that. Oh, right there at the end.
Yeah. So they
Pretty cool.
they're aware of your plans.
Hopefully they approve.
They did.
Florida National Bank
Give them this place.
downtown.
So if you want, we can go over there and since the area seems to be a little primed and it's at the moment, might be a good place for photo capture.
Sure. Let's show them how we do this.
And I'm going to teach you how to feel spirit when we go down in the basement.
Okay. Relocating over here to what used to be teller areas. Where you want to be?
Okay, everybody gather up around. Let's do a photo shoot.
Okay. So just watch me take these. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a whole bunch of pictures. And the reason why we do that is so I'm not changing anything. The angle's exactly the same, the lighting's the same. So when we get abnormal things on camera, you know it's not lens flare or anything like that because all of them, There, see? It's got that really cool shot right there. Got somebody. It just got really dark. What did you just do?
I turned the light down because it was hurting my eyes.
Oh, well, you sure did. She has a lot of, see, when this changes color and it turns like blue and green,
Right.
that's her. She's doing that. She actually has the power to
It's not my power, it's spirit.
affect light on this camera.
Okay. But I've definitely got crew.
You may get split anything.
Sorry.
Okay. All right, guys. This picture takes a picture about once a second. So if any of you guys would like to make a full body apparition, that would be fantastic. Just saying. This is going to be on TV, so it's your chance to be famous. Ooh. So what are your names? Nice. How many we got in here, Tom? Buttload?
A buttload.
This is probably going to be pound for pound one of the most haunted locations we've ever been in.
Right. This place, the Florida Theater has nothing on this place.
Wow, because we know that place was packed. Congratulations, guys. Yeah, she's altering the color again. Going from kind of green to yellow. Wow, holy cow. Thank you guys. You guys are really cooperative. Take a look at these pictures showing the movement of spirit around Pamela. Pamela is not only a spiritual medium, she's also a physical medium. She can use her energy to help spirits manifest like this. She's working with her helpers in spirit to assist the earthbound spirits in the bank appear on camera. But she's only getting warmed up. She must be careful. This is dangerous work for a physical medium.
Next time on Local Haunts, Steve and Pamela continue their investigation of the Florida National Bank.
Is this place creepy to you too?
Yes.
And the bank's owner meets one of the ghostly inhabitants for himself.
You're right. Right there.
Wow. Wow.
You got a camera.
Who's that?
Incredible evidence of the physical mediumship abilities of Pamela Theresa.
He's getting some pretty amazing photos.
We have to go upstairs.